Welcome to episode 3 of Beastars. This has been a very unique, interesting show so far, and last time ended with a specifically surprising cliffhanger, so I don't know if we'll pick up right there or how we'll go from there, but just seeing where Lugosi and Haru's relationship will go. I want to see how it's all going to play out, so we're going to watch and discuss it. Got the subtitles and the timer on screen if you want to follow along that way, or you can pull up the episode on the side. But either way, let's get into episode 3 of Beastars in 3, 2, 1, play. Starting with the opening, which is awesome. I love the look of it, the stop motion, that's so cool. But while it is playing, let me say that if you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel. Beastars comes out every Sunday with other videos every single day of the week. Also, check out the description down below for links to Twitter and Discord if you want to hang out on there. And Patreon if you want to support this channel, allow me to keep doing what I'm doing here, get these videos early, vote for which shows I watch, and get exclusive vlogs. Thank you so much. So, yeah, this is just so cool to look at. The song's pretty fun. I really hope it does pick up right where it left off. I really want to see where that goes. Like, it's not going to go anywhere, but just more of his reaction I'd like to see. And she'll probably be glad that there's a guy who doesn't want that from her. That he just was being a nice guy. He didn't want sex from Little Bunny. All right, here we go. A wolf male is born. Okay, we're not picking up right where it left off. But he's got her fur. Oh, this is... Okay, this guy, this random rabbit, was dating the bitch bunny, and he couldn't resist Haru. And that would be the reason Bitch Bunny was being a bitch. They did talk about some guy who kissed her. Apparently that was this guy. He's like, yeah, I've been there. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, like, prey. Interesting phrasing, though, considering she's a tiny rabbit. Interesting to describe her that way. But also, I don't know if that's really, really accurate. I don't think they've got the right idea. But here this is. We're still here. She's taken off the pants. He's so confused. Uh, oh, that looks really cool. The like running the hands through the fur. He's in denial. He's like, is this just some weird greeting? How far are we gonna take this? Yeah, okay, he gets it now. He's like, no, no. Yeah, you did. Yeah, he did. She's not used to that kind of thing. He's just being really nice. So you should get dressed. I'm gonna. Oh my god. She's like, what? That's right. She doesn't understand it. Yeah, she's like, what the hell? Seems she's interested, though. She's not, like, offended. She's just doesn't often have that experience. This man is about to have a heart attack. Nothing happened. Don't worry about it. No, nothing at all. Little mice. They're so small. They don't even go up to the outlet. Holy shit. I asked about that in like episode 1 if there would be mice people. Little door. And we got to see the mice girls. They're so you could easily kill them accidentally. Has she really gone after them, though? Whoa. I mean, she can fuck who she wants. Yeah, she's the only one in the club. Yeah. He's like, she seems okay. She's probably got her own shit to worry about, where everybody else is just judging her harshly. What a nice wolf. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. It's not that simple. That happened, yes. I don't know the details, but that did happen. Clearly. That's pretty obvious, yeah. But yeah, to just like sum her up in one word. What a nice guy. I like him a lot. I like the pause at the bottom of the pillar. That's cute. It's a cool little detail. Ah, we got a tiger principal. Where do the mice sit? Do they get like how do they see? I'm just gonna be worried about the mice now. Yeah, Lewis is a charismatic guy. He did. Maybe you should give it a shot. Maybe you'd be good at it. Whoa. Okay. Oh, that is hilarious and also horribly fucked up. Wow, this is all fascinating. 14-year-old dominatrix? Can we? I mean, she's a jaguar or leopard. I already forgot which one you said. God damn it. I was glad that they clarified, but then I forgot which one he said. I think he said leopard. 14 though? She's an animal. It works differently. It's not the same. But Trypophobia is a fear of holes, or like a lot of time like small holes all next to each other, like a honeycomb or something, or like a sponge, or just spots like that are next to each other. My girlfriend has it, which is why I know. And that is hilarious and also horrible for the giraffe to have that. He's so small. He's this little Stuart Little. Also, there's an elephant, which I questioned before. Oh yeah. His little desk, and he's so loud. He commands attention despite his size. Nice. Oh, he was cute. They just think it's cute when he gets angry, which it is. He was hurting from that leg injury. Shit. Yeah, he's on it too much. He really wants to overcome that and show people that that's not the case, and he's like, God damn it. My body couldn't hold up, so. Although, if a wolf, fucks up their ankle, it's gonna be fucked up too. Maybe it'd be a bit tougher. I love following his hands. Giving some advice. Fast growing claws. Tries to cut them, but they just come back. He can't keep it down. He's like trying to assert himself, but he wants to hold back. He wants to show strength. Lewis does. And so he's kind of like offended at a carnivore who won't do that. And he's like, don't look down on me. And oh shit. He's just gonna stick his hand in the man's mouth. Bite me? Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, that's what he wants to show. Okay, Environmental Day. Their environmental time to go underground. What does that mean? What's environmental time? What do you? There's a duck. What do you do? What is this? What the hell's happening? Oh, they go to like places that are more typical to their own natural habitats. Fascinating. For like an hour a day or whatever. Huh. Cool. There may not be rabbits, but is there cheese? So they got the moon to howl at? Wow. These new feelings. Something totally foreign to him. Yeah. As we zoom down to his pants. This other feeling I've got. Do they have last names? Starring Lewis. Like Madonna. Oh shit, he couldn't even take a damn step towards his. Oh, dude. Yeah, he just has to get through the play twice. Can he do that? Okay, he's doing well right now. He's fighting through the pain. Yeah. It's just me. I don't. You. None of you. I care about none of you. Very observant. You wolf male. Okay. Let's see what he can do. Damn, that's gotta be hard on the leg. He saved it, but still, like. Ugh. Okay, he did good. He did well. He looks really cool with that on. But what about the second day? Is that like a Shinigami dies if they fall in love with a human and write their name? You can write a name to save them. That's what happened. I did it! That's got to be very limiting. That's not good. Both legs? You're not. He waited until the curtain fell, though. You have one more day. You have another performance. I think. I don't think it's covered both of them. I think that was just saying the one. Not now. Sorry. So this is going in interesting directions. It's interesting how, like, we've kind of completely not addressed the murder that happened in episode 1. There's a lot of cool things to focus on here. But I really like Lugosi's character, so yeah, but let's talk about this episode. All right, episode 3. I liked this one a lot. It's going in some really interesting directions. Still just feels very unique, and I have no idea in general where we're going, and it's just very enjoyable. Still love that OP. We got a different ED. I've heard that there might be different ones every episode, which is so cool that they would just take that extra step, put in that extra effort to do that for no reason. Like, you don't need to do that, but apparently that's what's happening. Still love the art. The CG looks fantastic. The character designs. Some of the stuff like Haru rubbing her hands on Lugosi's fur, that just looked so good. Or the detail on like their tails and stuff like that. It all looks great. I'm loving some additional world building that we're getting. Small little moments like before in episode 2 when I noticed Lugosi's tail tucked into his suspenders. Something small like that I really like. Or him getting his tail caught in the door, like something specific to animals. Things like that. Or just seeing more of the school, like noticing the paws on the bottoms of the columns, or the different sized doors. Seeing the little mice, because I had questioned that before. I was like, I want to see an elephant and I want to see a mouse. I specifically said those things, and we saw both of them in this episode. And they don't even come up to the outlet. They're so tiny, and you could accidentally kill them with ease. And I just had so many questions during like the play, like where do the mice sit? How do you make it so that they can see? And we saw an elephant too as part of the newspaper club or whatever. And then this environmental time that they were talking about, I was like, what is that? What is this? And it seems like they have underground areas that are like these animals' natural habitats that they get to go to from time to time to just hang out there, which is fascinating. It's a very quick scene and there's not a lot of time dwelling on it, and I like that there's no exposition that tells you that. You just kind of get it, which is great. I love that it was just presented that way. I want to know so much more about that, like how the rules of this world came to be, how it operates as a whole outside of this school, because that's really interesting that they have something like that. So you see the polar bears in this cold environment, and the wolves in this dark place with a moon and stuff like that, and that's really cool. I like that a lot, but there's not a lot of Haru here. I like that we picked up where we left off with her and Lugosi, and she is just coming on very strongly. She's touching him, trying to take his clothes off, and he's so confused at first. I love how much he just doesn't understand it because of how shy and awkward he is and how he's never had any kind of experiences like this, and he just literally doesn't understand at first. Like, is this some weird herbivore greeting? Eventually he has to accept, because I think he's just in denial. Like, there's no way that this could be that, right? But it was, and he just has to accept it. Like, no. Here, let me cover you up. Okay, bye. And she's not, like, offended by this or anything. She's just confused, because all these guys come on to her all the time because of how cute she is, and then this is what they want. They want to get sex from her, and then that seems to be the case most of the time. That's all they want, and then they leave. And so that's just what she assumed that he wanted as well. So to meet this guy who didn't want that, she was like, huh, bizarre, but she clearly found it interesting, the way she was laughing at the end, so I can't wait to see more of their interactions going forward. But yeah, you got that one bunny guy who... We heard about this in episode 1, so it's really nice to get more context there. And again, with exposition, I really like the way dialogue and everything is handled in the show, and just the writing in general. There's a lot that isn't directly just sloppily exposited to us. We're able to put the pieces together. Like they mentioned in episode 1, she was like, oh, well, he kissed me. And now we see, okay, this is that guy. He's the bitch rabbit's boyfriend. He got with Haru because he thought she was super cute, and that's why the bitch was being mean to her and pushing her down and throwing water on her and shit. So I really like that. And so she's got this reputation of being a slut, as we've seen, that everybody avoids her for this. Which, first of all, like, if she just wants to fuck dudes, let her. Whatever. Like, if you don't want to be involved with somebody who's just gonna go have a one-night stand with you and a bunch of other people, then that's your prerogative. You don't have to. If you do want that same thing, then go ahead. Go fuck the bunny, whatever you want. But, like, if she wants to do that, then whatever, let her do it. But that's not even the full story. That's not even really what's fully happening, and she's just being judged just in a black and white way so easily, which is perfect because of her bunny bully with the two halves. But, yeah, like, Lugosi having that realization, he's like, I don't think you can sum her up in just one word like that. She seems really nice to me. And caring, and that was great. Just to say, oh, she has sex with a bunch of guys. Slut. Like, first of all, just even like I said, even if that just was the case, she just goes after all these guys, like, that's needlessly insulting and too simplistic. But that's not even all there is to it. You don't know her full story. You don't know fully what's going on in somebody's life. So to just label them as this thing and dismiss them is absurd, and I like that Lugosi recognizes that. Because she was saying it before herself, like, these guys all just come to her because of how small and cute she is, and they have these expectations for what she's going to be like. They want something specific from her. They get that, and then they see that she's not really like they thought, and they leave. This guy, the bunny that this was with, the bitch bunny, he seemed to like her personality. He seemed to like the way that she talked, but then he was then turned off by her slut thing, finding out that she had been with this other guy too. So, yeah, I just think it's judging too quickly and not fully understanding her. Like, clearly she's just come to expect that this is what people want, and so she's just been conditioned to be like, okay, I guess that's just how it is then. I don't think she's just going to all these guys and wanting to fuck them all, which would be fine too, but that's not even what seems to be happening here for the most part. And you, random bunny dude, you're the one with the girlfriend. You know? She's not doing anything wrong. You're cheating. And then you're gonna get all mad at her and insult her like that. Like, she's not doing anything like that. She's not raping these boys. So, there's nothing wrong going on there. But I love the way they talk about her, though, just calling her like a, more ferocious than any carnivore, and we're her prey, just kind of blurring the lines between the carnivores and herbivores, which is a major theme of the show so far, and someone acting against expectations. So even if they're being harsh, I like the dialogue in that it, supports the show's themes. But yeah, Lugosi is a really great character. I'm loving following him. Like, he's just, like I've said before, he's so relatable in his awkward high school boy isms, never been in a relationship before, so inexperienced with all this, so self-conscious and trying to defy those instincts that he has, and he's being all meek and everything. He's just really great to follow, so to see him defending Haru was really great. I like that a lot, and his dynamic with Lewis has become interesting too, as Lewis has become more interesting. Because at first Lewis just seemed like a dick, but we've learned so much more about him, and we're understanding where he's coming from and how he really hates this position that he's just in of being an herbivore. Prey, they're below the carnivores, they're weak, they're the victims, and he wants to overcome that. He wants to put on this play as the hero and show people the strength of an herbivore standing up to carnivores like that. He just resents this position that he was born into, and he wants to strive to overcome that, which is absolutely relatable, and admirable. And his relationship with Lugosi is interesting because Lugosi has this strength that he wants. Like, that's what Lewis wants to prove in himself. And so to see this carnivore who has that, but suppresses it, he's like doing these hand movements, which I love. I love the directing still, those split screens and like those focus on his hands and all that detail is really great. But, you know, he's like trying to assert himself, but he's holding himself back all the time. And so seeing this guy who has these traits that Lewis wants, but suppresses them, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's great. That is what I want. You have it and you don't capitalize on it, and that angers him. And he wants to be this one to rise up and show everybody how herbivores can be. Doesn't want anybody else to do it. Like all these other people in the play, he's like, I don't actually like any of you. Like, none of you are important. It's just all about me. I don't know entirely if that's just an ego thing or if there's some other reason why he feels like it's on him, but he does. He feels like it's on him to show this to people. Like, ideally, him and Lugosi would work together. Look, an herbivore who can be more assertive and a carnivore who can be kind. But he doesn't want that. He's like, no, fuck you. Like, it's all about me. I've got to show the people this. So again, he's a jerk about it, but understanding where he's coming from, like, I really do. And it's admirable in him wanting to push through all of this pain that we know he's feeling. They do a good job of communicating his pain. And so to go through all that, to go out on stage and immediately like slip and fall, and we hear that cracking sound, but he saves it and he goes on, and we know how much it has to hurt, but he's so passionate about this and he feels so strongly about this that it really shows through. It shows his strength of character in that regard, and just putting on this play, and then as soon as the curtain comes down, he's like, oh, just completely falls over. And to see him like resenting this body that he was born into because of this injury. He's like, oh, this injury is crippling me because I'm some kind of weak herbivore. Like, I'm trying to overcome that right now and show everybody how strong we can be, and yet I'm going to be ruined because of this body. So it's definitely understandable. I don't know if we're gonna expand on Lugosi's role in the club, and maybe he'll actually try to move on stage at some point, because he had that conversation with Kai about wanting to be an actor, and Lugosi said he never considered it. But I don't know, maybe at some point, for some reason, he will. Maybe he'll be forced to. They'll be like, we need somebody, get out here. And he'll be like, what? I don't know. And then he'll end up liking it, or they'll end up liking him. I don't know. Maybe he'll try to become an actor, try to become the Beastar. I don't know where that'll go. But there's no touching on the murder at all in this one, which is interesting because that's the way the first episode opens, and that's like a big thing to get you hooked. Like, there's a murder. What's going on? Is it a carnivore killing? Is it an herbivore behind this somehow? Is there some alternate thing that's affecting them, making them kill? Like, who knows what's going on here? And that's not addressed at all in this episode. And I didn't even care, because everything else that's addressed is so interesting, because the characters are so good, and I think it's really well written. So it doesn't even matter at all. Yeah, but you got the tiger principle. You got the little mice and like all the reptiles. It's cool seeing all of them. And you get a lot of detail about some of the random characters, which was really fascinating. Like the leopard who was a dominatrix at a club. Again, they're animals. They're not literally humans, so we don't have to think of her as like a 14-year-old girl, I guess. What human to leopard years, you know? It's not quite the same. So it's whatever. Or the rhino who thinks her horn is a guardian spirit, and the giraffe. That is so funny. Just that you would even have that idea and put it in the story. But it's also horrifying, because like I said, trypophobia is fear of clusters of holes or shapes and patterns like that, those like circles that are really close together. My girlfriend has it. She sees shit like that and she's like, oh, no. And it is gross. Like, honestly, a lot of the time I'm not like, I don't have a deep-seated fear of it the way she does, but I can definitely acknowledge that it's kind of gross if you stare at it for too long. Not on a giraffe though, not to that level, but for a giraffe to not want to look at her own body because of something like that, and that can just carry over to any kind of real-world metaphor about somebody having body image issues. Just relatable shit like that done in a really clever, funny way that's equally horrifying and works with the fact that they're animals. And Kai was raised by hyenas after being abandoned by his parents, so all of these people have a lot to them that you wouldn't expect. You wouldn't know just by looking at them, just by saying, oh, that's just some giraffe or whatever. Like, you've got to get to know them as people. They all have these other sides to them, and I think it's cool that the show focuses on acting so much and in the drama club, because it's all about different faces, like different acts that people put on, which is different from how they really are, or how they're perceived, which is different from how they really are, so that we get all of this focus on actually acting. I think that ties in really well thematically too. I love the newspaper editor or whatever, the little mouse with his little desk, and he's so angry, like trying to compensate for his size, and they think he's cute, which he is. That's really great. I love that scene, and just the build-up that they are like, hey, well, you know, if I go on the second day, I'm going to have to go on the second day, but that might be good because they might let their guards down a little bit on the second day, might be more likely to make some kind of slip up, and if somebody like Lewis makes a mistake, well, that's way bigger news than just, yeah, the play was good. Like, that'll be a really big thing for the newspaper, and the performance we see at the end, I think, is just day one, and he's already in such bad shape, so day two is looking pretty bad, and that actually makes me feel really bad for Lewis, because he's become so understandable in where he's coming from. So we'll see how that all plays out. Lugosi recognizing his feelings for Haru, realizing like, hey, I'm a guy. Like, I've never really been treated like that before, but yeah, and I'm having these feelings, and you see his tail wagging. That's really great. I'm really loving him as a main character, and Lewis has become so much more interesting too. The themes, the writing, the visuals, I'm really loving the show at this point. Like, it's been interesting. It's been very unique. In episode 1, you've got this set up, it just kind of throws you into this world, and I was like, okay, this is fascinating. Let's see where it all goes. And in general, I still have no idea where it's going, which is part of the appeal, unpredictability, but where it's been going so far, I think has been really surprising and really great. I don't know how different it is from the manga, but I'm loving what they've shown so far. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. These characters are going through such relatable, interesting issues, while also being animals, and incorporating that in an interesting way with some cool world building, and a murder plot in the background, which could like be abandoned entirely, and I probably wouldn't even care. But then you have to remember that that is also a thing, so that's a whole nother direction the show can go in. So there's a lot, like Lugosi, Lewis, Haru, anybody else that we might learn about. There's like so many different things in the show that I like that we can focus on, that I'm really excited. I don't know how long the show is going to be. I feel like it's probably going to be like one cour, but I hope not. I could spend a good amount of time with this show. I would like to see more. I would imagine it's going to be just the one, but hopefully we get a good amount done in that time. I'm really liking what we've had so far. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this episode. We could talk about it more down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out all the stuff linked down in the description below as well. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.